Alright, this is Kingdom Reacts. We're gonna go over his video. I know that on Rumble, a lot of times these content creators don't really put their videos onto Rumble, so people can't really watch them on Rumble. And I understand that people want to use Rumble because it's a free speech platform. I agree. I do. I mean, I can't argue with that after seeing everything that's going on. I think that eventually we're gonna have to get to a point where everybody decides that yeah, certain apps might be better, and there's reasons for that, by the way. Like Google corners the market on most of the tech, so search features, all that stuff. I mean, Rumble can only access so much of that. You know what I mean? Before YouTube cuts them out of it, and so it's really not their fault. I mean, now if they have more revenue going into them, they would grow, and that platform. This is why I just don't understand that about Americans. I guess we say we value our free speech, but then we stay on a platform that just abuses the shit out of it. And I mean, I don't hate YouTube or nothing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not even just talking about YouTube. There's plenty of platforms that do it. But I mean, I think it says a lot, right? I mean, what's more important? You having a good time, or you having a country and a place to live at? Because our culture is being stolen, stepped on. I mean, well, anyway, we're gonna be going over the Bad Bunny nonsense. I mean, I already knew about this clown. I mean, for one, that he what was it? He did a video where he was portrayed. Oh no, there was a painting of him. Yeah, of him hanging on a cross. He dressed like Baphomet. Why is it always that we find out that these people are, hateful, like anti-Christian, hateful people? I mean, at the end of the day, we always find that out. I mean, you might not believe me, but it's a war on a soul. I mean, that's what they're trying to do. They want you to, do all the disgusting shit that they're talking about because they want to damn you to hell. I mean, I think most people know that I'm a Christian. I'm not ashamed of that anyway. I mean, hell, I think more people need to stop being ashamed of being a Christian. Jesus didn't tell us to walk in shame, and he damn sure didn't tell us not to fight. I mean, being kind to your neighbor is way different than being a pussy to everybody else. Like I wouldn't. I walk in Jesus like everywhere I go. But I'm telling you right now, I would not for a second let somebody push me around. And too often, some of my Christian friends use turn the other cheek as an excuse for them to not fight. We all have to fight. I mean, no matter how far we separate ourselves from the animal kingdom, we're still animals on this planet. So, alright, let's see it. I'm not here to preach to you, by the way. I'm just saying that, shit's getting crazy. I mean, they're out in the open now. Why do you think they're doing that? Why would it matter to them? Why don't you see them doing that to Islam? Instead, they always attack Jews and Christians. I mean, Christians, in my opinion, are way hunted far more than Jews are. But I mean, we just have an example through Hitler. That's why it's seen that way. But that was what was in his country at the time, And I'm pretty sure that they were a large part of the political party at the time, also in Germany, and that had a lot to do with it also. And you see, look, I'm not saying I agree with Hitler at all. Okay, I would never do anything that he had done. But when you see Americans and how they react to Jews, all their inner financial systems and all that. Could you really? I mean, you can't sit there for a second and go, okay, well that makes a little bit of sense. I mean, I'm not saying again that what Hitler did was right. I would never say that, but people will twist my words, I'm sure. I'm saying that people all over the world do exactly what Hitler does every day. Look what Hamas did, but nobody is. It's all targeted. Nobody ever says anything bad about Hamas, right? Nobody ever. I mean, instead, what was it? They got low IQ people who didn't know what was going on to go out and chant for Palestine. Literally, a country that doesn't exist that was there from the river to the sea to wipe out Israel. It's always anti-Christian. It's always anti-Catholicism, and I I just don't. I'm not for it, and I see what's going on, even if others don't. I mean, and there are others that do. I'm just saying in general, I see it. But let's see how. I want to watch this video. This is again Kingdom Reacts. I watch his stuff sometimes. I like the way this lady reacts and what he gets into. So I think it's like a lot of, besides news, besides trying to show like news, it's nice to get into what's going on and what our opinions of it are. I mean, you give up free speech if you stop using it, you know. And sadly, that goes back to the YouTube thing, by the way. I mean, I swear, I think sometimes they just ban words and stuff just to see if people will stop using those words. I mean, it's like a cultural experiment that a lot of people fail. But, alright, let's get in this video.
Can't sing. I mean, like, what is this? Golly. This is ridiculous. And got the American flag and all these other flags. And yeah, God bless you too. Get off the stage. Please get off the stage. Get off. Put the game back on. I can't stand this. Tell me that. I mean, what in the world is all this foolishness? Thank you. Get off the stage, please. Jesus.
They want to wipe out a culture. I mean, there's just no other way to look at it, or, you know, I mean, you get. I don't even need to tell you that, I don't think, because I think we all see that. It's just like bringing in all these illegals, right? The idea is to replace the American voter. I don't think a lot of Americans understand really how important they are, you know. And sadly, I know I say this a lot, but I'm gonna keep saying it because it seems like people just ain't hearing it, and people just don't talk about it. But you know, us Caucasians, we have to start reproducing. We have to rediscover the will to have our culture and you know, grow our population. I mean, it's like we're self-suiciding. It just doesn't make any sense. The stats I was giving you the other day is down. It was down from, like, I think it was 20% before that, and it went down to 7%, and then in the last year it went down to 6%. And I am very sure that once we lose control, and look, you can think whatever you want, but white people created the West. Why do you not see that anywhere else? And like Arabia, you know, Africa. Why don't you see that anywhere else besides the Abrahamic states? And Christians are I mean, a lot of them are white people. There's a hell of a lot of non-whites that are Christians too, but still. And look, all day, just to preface why I talk about white people a lot. Okay, it's not because I have. I mean, preferentially, obviously, I'm white, so I'm going to be more in line with white people on certain things. And it's almost like a tribal nature you can't get away from. But what really caught my attention wasn't that I was like super, oh God, white or nothing. Trust me. Like I've said before, where I grew up at, I mean, I was raised in a non-white area, you know. If anything, I felt more black. I talked black when I was younger. I mean, you know, that Ebonics, you know, like I'm telling you, people used to like the way it sounded though. I mean, and it was just an accent. But either way, my issue is that white people have just not fought back. As soon as Hitler did what he did, it's like everybody just accepted his actions on them. You know, it'd be no different than if all the Italians had to accept the actions of Mussolini. You know, or all the Russians had to, you know, accept, you know, all of them were responsible for the actions of one man in their history. And why is it's always Americans? it's always Americans that they try to equate to Hitler. I mean, because white people have a shame. They go, oh, well, another white person did something bad, so I feel guilty for it. Or God knows they think I'm racist. That's such a nonsensical way to think. I mean, it's like self-defeating on top of it, really. No, it's definitely self-defeating. And that's the general idea. That's why they keep pushing the racial propaganda on you and everything else. And then I really think in modern times what they did is they just gave up. And they were like, look, these white people are never, yeah, we're killing them, but they're not dying fast enough. We're not enough of them. I mean, they've convinced women, white women mainly, to kill their kids at an astonishing rate. I mean, I remember when I was younger, they used to call women like that black widows. Instead of widow and all that, because they would kill their kids and all. I mean, because, a black widow would eat their kids. Kids and nasty little spiders. I hate spiders. It's... If we don't turn around the way that we see ourselves soon, our entire culture is going to disappear. And I'm different than most people. I think that's worth fighting for. I do. I mean, every culture is unique. I don't shit on black culture. I think their culture is toxic because it talks about killing each other. I think that culture is pushed on them by the same people that push the shame on the white people for them, just like the same people who pushed out this toxic masculinity thing to make men weak. I mean, to steal their fire, their strength. And that's, if anything, I'm saying the opposite of that. I'm saying, look, we have to stop. It's time to stand back up. And I'm trying to give you reasons why you should. Especially if you're a Caucasian person, if you're white and a white American. Because don't mix it. We're being targeted. I mean, I fully 100% believe we are being targeted. I mean, every day the signs are there. Like she was just saying, look at all these fucking flags. Why is it that that's only going on in America? Because we allow it. That's why. But look at this. I mean, this is them saying that any...
Golly! Can't sing. What is this? Golly! This is ridiculous.
Okay, an American flag, and then you got all the... What is this doing in a halftime show in a football game in America? What is that? What's that? Unity or something? Nah, man, it's anti-American is what it is. And America wasn't the ones that pushed this multiculturalism crap on, well, obviously on us. It's not like we got a survey and everybody was like, yeah, fill our country with third world fucking parasites. Nobody did. They just did it. And that's why I think it's important for somebody to stand up and to let people know and try to get them to stand up too, because this shit's getting out of hand, guys. I mean, somebody has to stand up and fight back, Somebody has to, because if we don't stand up and fight back, we're going to lose everything we have. And that's not just a white thing, by the way. That will affect the entire world. I was talking about this yesterday, and if America falls, imagine if communism takes over America. I don't think China thought that through. I think they believed that if that happens, it suddenly, they'll be the world leaders. I mean, leave it to them to think that. No, what you're going to have is a country that's far more deadly, far more dangerous. All the weapons that we have that's now following this crazy communist idea that everything that anybody produces is theirs or partially theirs. So that means all the other countries, right? I mean, same thing. That everything they produce is ours. I don't think people have really thought through where communism would lead this country to and how much danger it would present to other countries. I promise you it'll bring war. I mean, if you don't believe me, look at every communist leader in history. I mean... It plays out all you gotta do is read a history book. They always start out trying to tell people, hey, well, I'll at least have basic income, right? And then what happens is everybody's drugged down and poor because there just isn't enough to go around. Especially when you got a hole in your border and letting in a whole millions of people, tens of millions of people who don't respect your values and who got their hands out too. And they're like, where's mine at? And then once they're here, they don't want to leave. I was so mad yesterday after everything that was going on when I put that video out. I try not to get upset like that because, yelling into a mic does make me feel better, to be honest with you. But it doesn't really get views. I mean, I think it should, because Americans should be tired of this shit. And by the way, the TPUSA event shows that we are tired of it, but it's not going to stop it. Sadly, the way that these people see Americans, especially white Americans, white American men, is that we're weak. We used to be seen as, home of the brave and the free. You can't have one without the other. Do you understand? You cannot have freedom without bravery, because there's always somebody out there willing to take that freedom from you. I mean, you learn that in school. What's a bully do to you? Beat your ass, take your stuff. If you don't fight back, first time you hit him in the mouth, he looks at you surprised. Yeah, that ends, doesn't it? Because that's what bullies do. They're all talk, usually. A lot of these people are as well. Sadly, they have money that they stole from us, and they pay these fucking protesters. No, they're not protesters. They're rioters, okay? We're not going to play the word games that these retards on the left do. They're rioters. They're here to destroy America, to bring it to its knees from the inside, because, again, there is no way to defeat America. And look, we know this through history. Look at Rome. Rome would be around today if they hadn't let all the barbarians into the gate. We did that. It's like history's there for us to learn from and grow from, but yeah, even with history being there, even with us knowing how that would turn out, look what happened. We let the barbarians in the gate. And now, I guarantee it's more than 20 million. I mean, that's just what we know about. Whatever you know about, double or triple that. So, I don't know, anybody out there that's arguing that we're not in a civil war is just, you're just wrong. I mean, factually, provably wrong. Like I said, why else would you bring that many military-age men into this country? Why is it a lot of them leave their families at home? If it's so bad, if the oppression is so bad, and the risks are so bad being there, then why is their family? I mean, they leave kids, they leave their wives at home. I mean, it's there in front of your face if you pay attention. But anyway, let's get back into this.
And got the American flag and all these other flags. And yeah, God bless you too. Get off the stage. Please get off the stage. Get off. Put the game back on. I can't stand this. Tell me that.
Yo, this lady's going off.
I mean, what in the world is all this foolishness? Thank you. Get off the stage, please. Jesus.
And there it is. No warm up, no spin. That reaction you just saw, that wasn't hate. That wasn't bigotry. That wasn't some coordinated political talking point. That was confusion. The same confusion millions of viewers had when the NFL decided to turn America's biggest sporting event into a cultural rollout nobody voted for. And watch what happens every single time this dynamic plays out. Democrats don't respond with logic. Okay, I need to go ahead and get this fixed. They don't respond with logic. They respond with emotional labeling. If you didn't love it, you're intolerant. If you didn't understand it, you're ignorant. If you question it, ultimately, you're just racist. That's how it all equates for them. That's not argumentation, that's manipulation. Because once they shame you, they don't have to defend the decision. They never do anyway. And speaking of people being told their concerns don't matter, let's talk about the viewers who are watching with their families. All right?
Why would I watch the halftime show or care if I don't understand what he's saying? Like, people are saying you're racist for not wanting to watch or support Bad Bunny, and I'm like, I think that's the problem. I think there's an agenda behind why he's performing, and you're a part of it. I don't.
This dude's he's speaking the truth. Yeah, there is an agenda behind it. I mean, look, there's a lot of strength that comes with a dominant language, and English isn't just spoken in America. Okay, it's spoken all over the world. You go into Russia, you're very likely going to find a lot of people who understand American. Our music, I mean, for whatever reason, our culture is very, all over the world. People emulate it. People listen to it. Country music, rock, whatever it is. I mean, I like to put music into my gaming videos sometimes because, I mean, you're watching gaming, but that music really, it pulls at your soul. That's what music is supposed to be for, by the way. And it's such a shame, by the way, that nowadays they try to monetize. I mean, I get it. Musicians need to make money. But, there was a time where you would just go out and buy a CD, and then you'd own that CD, and you could play it anywhere you wanted to. You had that ticket in your hand when you got that CD. Nowadays, though, say I have Spotify, and I put it on there. As soon as I post up a video, okay, with that song on it, immediately they copyright my content. And then people, their fans will defend it. Well, the artist got to make money. Okay, I would be good with that, except they've already made money off of me like 20 times. So what you're saying is that they need to make money every time the song is played? Every time somebody hears a section of that song? That's nonsense. I mean, music is supposed to uplift the soul. Not just supposed to, it does. Before I work out, I listen to Pantera. Walk is a really good song. I started getting back into Drowning Pool. I haven't listened to that since I was in my 20s. And you'll know one of their songs, which is Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. But that isn't my favorite one of them, of their songs. When you're playing a war game or something like that, it's good to have that music in the background because it puts people emotionally in that state. You know what I mean? Way back in our tribal times, they would bang on drums. Hell, back in like Civil War times, they kept a beat to that. Plus, you'd hear them drums coming. It would, it would put fear into some people, and it would lift the spirits of others to do what they needed to do, which was sacrifice their life. Either way, well, let's get back into it. I don't want to get too far off topic.
I don't understand what he's saying, so I'm not going to listen to it. I don't care.
The English language has force, is what I was trying to say. If you didn't understand it, I apologize. Like I said, I get off topic. So there's just so many things going on in my house, and then on the news and everything. It's like I got a stream on the right here showing me like how the TPUSA event is exploding. I mean, over 5 million viewers, by the way, and most of that was all country music and shit. That was all country music and stuff. So I mean, that is, we're coming back, baby. Only thing we need to do is find our animal soul again, And what I mean by that is our predator spirit. Like for right now, we've totally lost touch with that in America. Look, when I was younger, I trained in jiu-jitsu and ninjutsu. Ninjutsu was really interesting because it was what they train you is, in spirituality to build up your spirit to to defend yourself or to attack somebody, to perform crazy feats, which some would call ninja magic, by the way. And no trade secrets. But, and there are a lot, trust me, I'm telling you. That those powder things where you see, they pop the powder bomb and all that, you can make them in your house. I mean, it's crazy. Ninjas, they turn something that's just like poor people with pitchforks, basically, into a very legitimate martial art, a very dangerous one. Because ninjas are able to use anything they want, guns included. I mean, it doesn't matter. That's the form. That's what you practice. Especially when guns are everywhere and everybody has one. But the English language has weight to it. By putting this Spanish language out or whatever you're speaking in. I mean, I was listening. You're going to hear this lady here soon. That's going to break down what he was saying. If that doesn't disgust you, I don't know what will. But let's get back in this. Yeah, just real quick. Like I said, remember, English, our language, has cultural force. You know what I mean? By taking that away, you diminish America. That was the intent of this. You know, that 100%. That was the intent of what they were trying to do. And that's eventually we're gonna have to come to terms that we're gonna have to get these traitors out of our country. You know, they're not here to appeal to their buying base, the people who buy their products. They're not here to profit off of that stuff. They made so much money that money is not an issue to them anymore. It's not something they're interested in earning. Instead, they'll lose millions, billions of dollars to get that power, you know, through cultural power, to capture it in a bottle like lightning, you know what I mean, and to use it. And now they're trying to turn us against each other. That's the easiest way to do it. Why would you go to the Super Bowl and a truly an American thing? Because you go to Britain and you tell them you want to play football, they're going to throw you a soccer ball. Americans are the ones who came up with football. It's a totally American-made sport. And then they have some dude not even singing in English. You tell me there ain't something going on there. And then when you listen to what he's saying, I mean, these are truly evil people. I'm telling you, if you don't believe in Jesus or God, I mean, I get it. You could say, oh, the Bible is a deep sea scroll. Look, dude, if it wasn't true, okay, then why are they so hell-bent on making you not believe it? I mean, I would say that the louder somebody protests, the more that somebody screams at you, the closer you are over the target. You understand what I mean? Let's get back into this.
He's not speaking my language. Why are you trying to make me feel uncomfortable on an English-speaking territory? Or in an English-speaking territory, I'm sorry. I don't understand what he's saying, so I don't really care. I don't know why he's performing if he can't speak English. That's just how I feel about it. It's just the NFL. This isn't the World Cup with soccer or something. I can understand that. But it's the NFL. Even in soccer, bro, when they be having like America News or something like that, like these folks translate the post-game interview in English. So I need that at the Super Bowl halftime show. It's the Super Bowl. If you can't translate the song in English, big dog, I'm gonna need you to find somebody else, because I don't know what you're saying. And no, I'm not racist just because I don't know what you're saying, or just because I don't care about what you gotta say, because I don't know what you're saying.
Now here's where the conversation gets real quiet from the media class, right? This isn't a nightclub venue, right? This isn't an adults-only concert environment. This is the Super Bowl. Multi-generational households all watching together. And when parents raise concerns, they're mocked, dismissed, painted as regressive. I want you to notice the pattern, though. Democrats scream, protect the children when it supports their agenda, but when the concern challenges their cultural programming, suddenly protecting kids becomes ridiculous to them. That idea is just, they can't fathom it. That's selective morality or narrative convenience. But criticism didn't stop at broadcast tone. Some viewers started digging into the actual content itself. I want y'all to check this out.
Yeah, this is great.
Okay, so my post about translating Bad Bunny's song so that you know what you're listening to at the Super Bowl went viral. I didn't expect that, but since we're at it, let's translate another song. This one is called Vatican, and this is a clip from that music video, so you know where that's going. He spelled Vatican with a B for some reason, but here we go, let's start up there. Perhaps my music isn't clean, but I didn't invent sex and marijuana wanna. AAA, where is the horny one? Raise your hands. A grinding, and we go. To the Vatican, call your mom to ask for your hand. A. I was in hell when I stumbled upon a she-demon. She was selling her soul and I bought it. She was yummy, but her friend was even yummier. Let's go, the three of us. Let's go, the three of us, yes. Where are we? I don't know. Who are you? I don't know. God forgive me. because I have sinned. You are horny, I know, let's go. I know, God forgive me, AA. I'm gonna skip this paragraph because it's irrelevant. He's talking about being in the club and the club being lit. But let's go to this paragraph here. It says, everybody fornicates here. The waiter and the preacher. Hey, mommy, you're so fine. Send me a picture of the young Mika. I don't know who young Mika is. They got me overthinking. The night got kinky. And in her ass, the pinky. Her hair purple like Inky Winky. I slap her ass and I leave her like Poe. I give it to her where she goes pee-pee and where she goes po-po. You already know what that means. God is watching, God is listening. That is what we're teaching our children. Hey, to believe in God, you don't have to be a minister. No man on earth has the right to judge in the name of Christ. And again, this is coming from a guy that takes pictures dressed as Baphomet. I mean, if you don't see it, you're blind. But he also portrays himself as Jesus in his music videos. In Old San Juan, they even have a...
I mean, how much more obvious does it need to be? You know? I mean, seriously, this is that retard on a cross. I mean, by the way, this is blasphemy, like at the highest, because this dude is literally comparing himself to a man who willingly went to the cross. Understand this, okay? Jesus was God incarnate in human flesh, okay? You think that he couldn't have stopped him being crucified? You think that the Romans overpowered him? In parables and every other aspect of the Bible, it talks about exactly why he did that. He wanted, I mean, death was something that we took on ourselves as sin, right? You know, when Adam and Eve sinned in paradise, that was our curse, to become just like, you know, regular animals and all that. It said the animals actually weren't even, you know, meat eaters and all that in paradise and heaven. That sounds amazing. I don't know how that would have worked, but that sounds amazing. But this, seriously, this is disgusting. I mean, I don't care if his music was so good that I did want to listen to it, which I don't, and I don't think it's very good. As soon as I heard his name, Bad Bunny, it's a dude. Now I could even see like a woman being called Bad Bunny, but this is a fucking guy. I mean, and his song, how his song was translated, as she was saying, is just gross. I mean, this is a man who's surely only worried about his flesh and satisfying his needs. That's it. And corrupting the people around him, really. I mean, and he's doing it in a language that we don't even know. And I think it's important what she goes on to say in a second, which is, you know what you're singing before you sing it. I mean, hell, these people could put in there, I'm an idiot. Yeah, you could be singing, I'm an idiot, I need to die, come shoot me. You know, you don't know. Just because it has a good beat doesn't mean you should be singing it or liking the music, because you don't know the message of it if you don't speak the language. And they know that Spanish, English is the main language in America. Everybody speaks it. The people who don't shouldn't be here, period. I mean, look, like I said before, language is cultural power. They're trying, this is all comes back to the same thing. They either want to separate America from its roots, which is, again, the Abrahamic religion. You know, they want to separate us from that, or they want to turn us into this, you know, and be ruled over by people like this. I don't know what happens to people when they get rich, you know, when they get up in that scene. I've heard some pretty sick shit, to be honest with you. I mean, Alex Jones reported on what a lot of these rich people did. Yeah, I don't know if y'all are old enough to remember that, but I do. Him standing outside of this big mansion. I can't remember what it was called, but basically they were doing rituals. There was a big owl. They were sacrificing animals, and from what I understand, they sacrificed babies and humans too. I mean, that's crazy shit right there, man. And then you tell me that that Jesus doesn't exist, that good and evil aren't true. It's just a figmentation of our imagination. And why is it that every culture, every person throughout history, whether they believed it or not, they knew about it. You know what I mean? They either fought against it or they fought for it. Why did they turn the Crusaders into evil villains? The Crusaders were amazing people, by the way. Who went through shit that none of us, not one of us, could ever imagine. They were called to go defend against one of the largest armies ever created. They had taken over most of Europe, there was barely anything left. Spain was under Muslim rule. Islamic rule. And they had to pay the dizyat or whatever it's called, the tax. And still, a lot of times they would go through and rape their women, kill them. Seriously, people try to act like white people have never been slaves before. I beg to differ. And I would say that white people have had it worse throughout our history and our culture because they've tried to kill us. Over and over again, they've tried to wipe out white people. You go to African tribes that barely intermingle with anybody at all, and what they got? They know what a white devil is. I wonder why that is. They've never seen a white person in their life. That's how fast word spreads, And I'm just saying that every other race, okay, has pride, has their people, Why is it that white people cannot have that? Because we usually are Christians and we believe in Jesus, or regardless, we believe in treating each other better than what's being treated by most other cultures all over the world. I swear, it's what's going on now in America, to me, reminds me a lot of the Bible and how Eve, ate from the tree of knowledge, the poison fruit, and then went and convinced Adam to eat it too. I'm not going to say this again after this. I don't hate women. I'm a very heterosexual, straight dude. I love women, okay? It's not about that. And it's not even just about sex. I wish that there was a woman out there in America nowadays, that could complete my life the way I would then. But my experience with American women, not foreign women, with American women has been, they're narcissistic. They usually want me to do shit that I would never do. They think they're better than me. They want to tell me how to run my life and what I can do for them. And a lot of them have become worse than men. They pretend to be men in video games. Have you ever played a video game or watched a movie where the woman's sitting there like, yeah, I'm going to go back here and fuck. And, oh, man, I can't wait. She's grinding on stuff. It's gross. It's disgusting. At least from my view, it's disgusting. You ever had a woman try to force her, privates in your face? You know what I mean? Like, that's not, I'm just, no. Women are not men. And they shouldn't act like men, trust me, I get it. Women have a sex drive just like men do, and that's fine. But, Jesus, what's going on in this country with white women is because feminism polluted their brains. It's all been, when you think about it, this goes back into like the 1900s. Mainly after we defeated the British, and then even more so it really ramped up after World War II. And, there's never been a nation like America. We've accomplished things that no other country's ever accomplished. We didn't just beat one superpower. We've beaten them all. Every single one of them. You should have pride in that. A lot of pride in that. Okay? Because it isn't the liberals out there winning those victories and fighting those wars. It's a huge, it's like 70-80% are conservative men. A lot of times on the battlefield, hell, when I was in basic and all that, they would make us go to church. I didn't really have to be made to go to church, but some people did. Otherwise, they had to do training, and look, there was an important reason for it to be that way, okay? And your spirit is what you take into battle, and I believe that they understood that. Like Drill Sergeant Simpson and Pedrazes were really big on that. You're not going to win if your spirit isn't into it. if you believe that when you die there's nothing else, you're just going to hell or whatever, I mean, are you going to be willing to die out on a battlefield? I don't think so. I mean, most people believe that something comes after death. And I would say that science has pretty much proven that. And that brings us back to, like, making sure that our culture, and especially the faith that Jesus has put into us, to protect that. I mean, it's just getting insane to me that the biggest enemy of Americans is Americans, and Americans giving up. They got it good, so they don't have to worry about fighting for it or standing up for it. I mean, they call the vocal minority, obviously, the vocal minority in the silent majority. It should not be that way. It shouldn't. I mean, what would happen if there was a civil war? I mean, for one thing, it wouldn't be anything like it was in the first Civil War. You know what I mean? I highly doubt there would be very much fighting, period. Maybe because these lunatics on the left, they're lunatics. I mean, they might just push it to that level, but they would lose. Like, I did a video on that. I mean, at least I spoke on it. And I'm going to make a much more in-depth video about it because, I mean, look, guys, they've tried to convince you that just because a few of those idiots go out there and protest, no, riot. They're rioting, that's what it is. We're not going to call it protesting. Just because they're out there rioting and you see a few thousand people, oh my lord, did you see how many people were at J6? I mean, 5 million people tuned into the TPUSA event. That's insane, guys. Everybody's on our side. We need to start acting like it. I mean, right now we're fighting for our ability to to have elections fairly. I mean, Democrats don't want us to use voter ID because they know that their entire party is supported off foreigners. And like I said, everybody that comes into this country, every time they vote, okay, whether, without ID, that's one of your votes that are poofed away, that disappear. And think about that. If you want a certain president to win to carry out your wishes, I mean, you're going to lose. If they could just import, I mean, think about it, 20 million people, and to them, those votes don't matter because they're not American in spirit, okay? They're just here to make money, and their votes make them money. They sell them. I mean, look, we all know it. I know it because I know people that were trying to buy them. You know what I mean? And they were offering a decent amount of money for them too. I mean, I would never do that, and to be honest with you, I would never allow that around me. But it's just insane that's going on. And really, when I heard about that, that's when I realized that this is a war against America. They are trying to bring us down. Just like that video I made yesterday with that dude in there, the Chinese guy, talking about how all minorities should rise up now against white people. I mean, we shouldn't tolerate stuff like that. We as white people need to start getting offended. You need to start getting offended. I mean, if you won't do it for yourself, if you mean that little to your own self, what about your kids? What about your wife? Or your girlfriend? Or your best friend? Or maybe your dog or your cat? I don't know. Whatever you value more. What about those? Are they worth it to you? Because all of them are going to suffer. You're the man who needs to stand up and defend your family. That's your responsibility. And you need to carry that responsibility. Yeah, sure, it could be a burden. I mean, but it's there. If you have a nice family and a nice family life, you should respect that. I mean, you have something that a lot of people don't have. I mean, I don't have trouble getting with women. I mean, the problem is getting with a good woman, right? It's easy to find women to have sex with. It's hard to find a woman who's going to complete your life and accept her role as a woman instead of trying to turn herself into the man in a relationship or turn you into the woman in a relationship, which never turns out good for either. I mean, but yet they've turned our women into that. And we need to turn them back out of that because, believe it or not, I really do think that women could still be reached if men would just again, they're off the shackles. Stand up. Stop taking it. And seeing this, men are doing that. You know, not as many white men. I mean, if you didn't notice, there's a common theme in a lot of the videos I'm posting up. And I get it, because black people can get away with far more than, say, we can, right? I mean, I get my content stepped on all hell and back. Specifically these videos here, the political ones. I could show you, like, the comparison between the two, you know. And my point is this: is a lot of these black content creators, they don't have to worry about that. You know, I mean, they do now, because apparently even the left is now mask off racist, you know, calling people house N-words and M-words all left and right just because they didn't vote for him. See, that's the aim of the Democrat Party right there. And I wouldn't even say it's a Democrat Party, because the Democrat Party was captured. It's a Communist Party. You know, if you don't agree with them, you are all those bad things. And just, I mean, the fact that they called that black dude a racist, I thought was fucking hilarious. It isn't, look, it was never just targeted at white people. It's targeted at everybody who didn't agree with them. It just happened to be that a lot of white people didn't agree with them, because our culture was being stolen. We were being told we don't have the right to have pride in our culture. You know what I mean? Why? Because a man existed who did all these bad things, but he wasn't even American. It doesn't matter. You share the same skin color as him. You realize how racist that is? I mean, just imagine if we held everybody to their skin color like that. Isn't this exactly the opposite of what we've taught and what they screech about? We just want to be treated as equals. Then they're treated as equals, and then they start freaking out, saying, no, we need segregation. I was so surprised. I'll have to do a video on that one time. Yeah, not all, obviously, but there are black people out there that want segregation back. I mean, it's crazy. They had to walk white people into schools at the end of bayonets. Okay, that's what our military did to force integration onto regular everyday white people. They weren't racist. They just didn't want those people and their culture in their cities and their schools. Why is it okay for black people to feel that way, but it's not for white people? I mean, they just build a new society where it's all white people. I mean, and that society's doing great. When you look at it, it looks like 1950s America. It's crazy. And I mean, I really don't agree that it should be homogeneously white anyway. I'm saying we judge people on their merit. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about someone's skin color. I don't care about their skin color. What I care about is how they behave. If somebody is, oh man, there's a lot of crimes. First of all, sometimes it's better if somebody just isn't alive. You know, and in history, okay, it kind of remedied itself, because those people would usually not live there. You know, they would have very short lives, so they couldn't affect people. We used to have monasteries to put these psychopaths into too, and then they ended that. You know, it's like they constantly want to shove these people down our throat, literally. And me, I'm done with it. I'm throwing the shackles off. I don't care what society thinks about me. I don't. I mean, like I said, insults, I'm like a duck to water with that shit. It ain't going to affect me. You put your hands on me, then things will be changed. You're going to see that change around. You try to steal my country, yeah, you might get some fire. You know what I mean? Because I know people, sadly, that have died trying to protect this nation. I mean, and it's the citizens, we the people are the ones who should be. Look, the military cannot come in here and do that job for us. No matter how much we want them to. I mean, in our Constitution, it's a good reason why we don't. Rome did it too. We didn't want the military inside of our, inside of our country doing local law enforcement or anything. That's why we have a law enforcement system. The problem is that they've neutered the law enforcement system. They've deplatformed it. They're trying to do the same thing to ICE. They want to turn America into the criminal capital of the world. I mean, hell, look at the Democrat states. The cities, because there are no Democrat states, Democrat cities. And there's a whole lot of voter election fraud. I mean, I'm telling you right now, even after they started catching on to it, there's been fraud. And They try to hide it. They try to keep ICE out. They try to keep FBI out from seeing their voter rolls. A lot of them dump their voter rolls on purpose. You know, like I think that there's something called the spirit of the law. That's where we all know what's good and bad. And we've lost that. And it's very important for a country like America to have it. And we need to get it back. Sorry, I've yapped a long time. But the whole point of this channel is to try to get people to find their predator spirit again. To find their confidence, their resistance, their resilience, their spirit. To find their spirit inside. You know, the strength. The thing that makes them them. Because everybody's been suppressed to the point to where that doesn't exist anymore. I mean, most people are just hollow when it comes to bravery. They'll sit there and watch a woman get raped and do nothing. You know what I mean? Well, it's not my problem. That's not the America that I know. That's not the America that I love. You know, it's not. And I know, look, you could tell just by the movies that these people love. That's still popular in America to defend and stand up. But at the moment when that moment presents itself, are you going to be, if somebody's being attacked beside you, are you going to be that person who is scared and does nothing? Or are you going to be that person who, is a hero and saves the day? We used to be a country of heroes. I mean, not anymore. But that doesn't mean it's going forever. We can bring it back, but more people have to speak up, you know, and tell, especially white people, because sadly they've been targeted the most for good reason, because white people are powerful. You know, that you could stand up again. You know, you never should have knelt in the first place. You know, stand up, fight for yourselves, speak out. You know, represent yourselves. You can have pride in the fact that of your culture. I mean, you can have pride again. You don't have to pretend like you don't have that. Those were Obama days. All right, sorry. I know I go off on these, but I mean, there's a reason for me doing it. Again, if anybody takes anything away from my videos, it's going to be that. And I don't care what color you are, that we all need to get back to our strengths. Like what makes us us, you know? And we need to fight back more. And that doesn't mean go out and grab a gun and start beating somebody up tomorrow. That just means I'm not going to get pushed around, you know? I mean, you can fight back just by being a brick wall. You know what I mean? Somebody trying to push through you, because that's mainly what demon rats do. And a lot of those weird commies on that side, they want to push you and move the goalpost. When you're that force, that let's see, that central pillar that doesn't change. I mean, you'll notice that buildings and all that stuff will start popping up around you because you're a constant. I mean, like, people, you understand what I mean? Sorry, I was making an analogy there. But you're a constant. You're not moving in the wind. You're not falling over. You're one spot that's not wavering. And these people damn near broke the American spirit. And we need to take it back. And the only way that we're going to do that is by telling everybody that they have the right and that they have to, because we're losing... to strengthen their spirit up and to stand up and to push back on this shit. They have to. I mean, this shit is evil. It's not just bad. It's not just bad for America. It's evil. When you find out the messages that they're trying to push onto you, it's evil. It's always dark. It's always evil. They don't want Americans back to what they were before, because those Americans were freaking deadly. Those Americans, you couldn't push them around. You think this shit would have happened in 1950? Hell no, it wouldn't have. It wouldn't have. I mean, even the old guys would have fought back. My grandpa, man, he was... Ooh. I remember him, my grandfather and my uncle getting into a fight in the kitchen one time. And my grandpa was old at that. I think he was like 70. Late 60s, 70. And my uncle... I don't want to get into everything that happened, but either way, he had... Did something bad with my grandma. Like, it wasn't like that. I just mean that he went too far. He stepped over the boundary. My grandfather went after him, and I mean, he fucked him up. I mean, you didn't push men around back then, and Americans need to get back to that. That's the man who raised me. I mean, and my father, who he fought in Vietnam. My grandfather fought in World War II. I mean, our line goes way back. If anything, the one thing that my family line is good at is war. And we need to get that spirit back, though. We need to get back to the point where, yes, America is worth sacrificing for, because there is no other country like America. Get your pride back, and I think the TPUSA event really helped with that. So,
mural of him as Jesus. And look, I'm not the best Christian out there, but back in the day, they used to call that blasphemy. And honestly, in my opinion, it's plain disrespectful. So there you have it. That's another Bad Bunny song so that you know what you're listening to. I know that some of his songs have a great beat, I'm not gonna lie. Some have a catchy beat. And it's hard not to like it, honestly. But I don't know, I feel like it's important to know the words that come out of our mouths, even if it's in another language and we don't understand it. Because you could be singing and selling your soul to the devil and you don't even know it, just because it has a good beat. So yeah, don't sing along.
Woo! Y'all gotta stay prayed up. God, please guard my spirit and those watching this video. Amen. Let's be clear though. This isn't about hating Bad Bunny. That's a straw man Democrats love pushing, right? Criticism centered on platform suitability. That's where we at with it. Sexual messaging, religious symbolism, vulgar themes, primetime broadcast fit. That's a standards discussion. I want to make that distinction. But reframing it as cultural hatred lets them avoid addressing the substance entirely. Again, narrative manipulation. And once cultural framing gets activated, the next battlefield...
Or propaganda. Propagandizing people. I've been talking about that, but he is right. I mean, it's just a different way of saying it.
Comes language.
You know what? I'm in my closet, and so I'm sitting here getting ready to talk about Bad Bunny's performance for the Super Bowl. And I get it. I know that you Latinos, Tejanos, and everybody else want to get this guy. This AI Super Bowl was the worst. It was the worst Super Bowl performance without real live, real ammunition, real performances. All this AI and all this bullshit that he had was whack. Listen, I don't have anything against the Latino community, but y'all gotta admit, all this it was not authentic. He had too much bullshit in his shit. Bad Bunny was bad business. And I'll say it again. So y'all can sit up here and play in the faces of us if y'all want to. I think all this is a conspiracy. And I really think that you all are really trying to dumb down what's really real in our world. Because Bad Bunny's performance was bad. Bad Bunny was bad. Bad. Y'all get that? This dude was bad. I'm sorry.
Bad.
We got to do better. And I'm trying to figure out what part of nothing he did was, this is the one time I wish he would have brought J-Lo on. Somebody who can make sense of what his choreography was about. Yeah, I mean, he did street culture for the Latino community. Which community of the Latino community? Because, the Latino community has several communities. Which one was he depicting?
Whatever one is not white American. Hey, man, you might not like it, but it's the truth, and we all know it.
He was all over the place, and it didn't make no sense. And then, worst Super Bowl performance ever, he goes down to be that one. I said what I said.
Now, this clip isn't about politics. Honestly, it's about relatability. You've got viewers saying, I don't understand what's being said. I feel disconnected from what I'm watching. That's a legitimate audience response, especially during the national broadcast meant to unify viewership. But Watch how Democrats do with reactions like this. They don't engage the concern. They dismiss the person. They frame confusion as ignorance rather than recognizing it as feedback, about accessibility and connection. That's emotional gaslighting, is it not? I could be tripping. I'm just saying, redefining someone's experience so it fits a narrative. And from there, the conversation escalated. Oh, yeah, it did. Not about understanding, but about authenticity.
Y'all need to stop lying and acting like y'all like that show. I see so many Americans making an excuse for why they choose Bad Bunny and saying they liked it. You know you didn't like it because they didn't speak in English. You didn't understand what they were saying. I see people, I didn't understand what they were saying. Well, that's the main purpose. Well, if you didn't understand what they were saying, how can you enjoy something? They're lying. Because maybe they liked his politics. Maybe they liked the imagery. Maybe they just liked that the Trump didn't like it, and so they like it. But the reality of it is,
bingo,
y'all didn't like it. Stop lying. Only people that like Bad Bunny's performance were Puerto Ricans and his people of that origin who speak that language. Those are the only people that really liked it. I love Hispanic people. I have pastors. I've had them come to my services. I love them. They're my brothers and sisters in Christ. But from a political and from a cultural standpoint, as an American, it would have been respectful for him to speak in English, and if he want to have a translator. In my church, we have English. In churches I've been at and ministered at, we have English and Spanish when there's a huge Spanish population. We don't just speak Spanish, because then the English people wouldn't know what they're talking about. I had literally no idea what he was saying. And that's not okay when most of the people that are watching are Americans. Yes, there's a huge foreign audience, but the Super Bowl is supposed to be about America. And before people talk about, he's an American, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, Puerto Rico is a part of America, but it's not one of the 50 states. It doesn't have the same culture as America does, as the traditional 50 states. When we talk about America, it has still its own culture that is not anything like the 50 states. So you didn't like it because he spoke in English. I didn't like it because he was waving foreign flags of other countries. There was a disrespect to patriotism in America. But what we expect from people like him, the left, they hate the country. They believe that people should come over here and disrespect America because America is so bad and evil.
Preach it, brother.
Yeah. Now, this reaction hits a different nerve entirely. This isn't confusion. It's skepticism. It's questioning whether people were genuinely connecting or just pretending to connect because cultural approval demanded it. And that matters because Democrats thrive. They thrive on performative agreement. They reward public alignment, not honest reaction. So if you say, I didn't get it, I don't get it, or I wasn't feeling it, you're pressured into silence. That's not dialogue. That's ideological enforcement. And once emotional lines are drawn, viral outrage content begins flooding timelines to steer the narrative elsewhere.
People like that, they need to run them out of the country. That's not an American. Literally, during that song, they're just sitting there disrespectfully talking. We allow it to happen. That's why it happens. Just like these protests, they happen because we allow them to happen. I'm not just talking about the government. The government has rules and laws regulating them. You could say that we do, but we have a right to protest. If anything, this is our fault. Because, sure, Trump can do whatever he can do in his position to do it, right? But, the Democrats spent 4 years putting in ways to stop him. And visually, visualization matters a lot. It matters a whole lot. If you can convince everybody that if you convince people that everybody is for something, most likely a lot of people are followers. They'll follow it. You know what I mean? Without questioning whether it's good or bad or any of that other shit. And that's what I'm saying. We need to get away from that. We need to start standing up like these gentlemen are, and like standing for our country. Our nation is something to be proud of. Everybody wants it. Everybody wants to steal it. Everybody does. I mean, why do you think people are invading into this country? They claim that they're so oppressed here. Well, why are they here? They left their homeland to come here. Why'd they do that? And then they claim that they're oppressed and all this other shit. Because it's a way for them to get free shit. It's a way for them to immediately make a white person quiver. To make an American. How about that? That's a better way to put it. To just immediately make an American quiver. But mainly white people. Because I'm telling you, black people, they don't put up with that shit. Hispanic people, they don't put up with it at all. I got to give respect to the Hispanic population because, we have a large Hispanic population in America, and thank God we do, because they don't tolerate this shit, man. They know what games are being played, and they're not going to be cowed or shamed to kneel and kiss some ring. And sadly, a lot of Caucasian Americans have. Again, I'm focusing on white people because for one, I'm a white person. For two, white people have made every modern thing practically that's out there. Without white people, what in the hell would this whole planet do? I mean, we're 6%. We have the most powerful nation. That should be a message to you. I mean, it should be a message to you. It really should. 6% of the global population, yet we rule the planet. Like I said, that should be more of a message than anything I can tell you. You know what I mean? Again, I'm going to I'm going to continue to say it over and over again. You need to find that warrior spirit again. A warrior never kneels to his enemy. Never. And they would never let somebody spit on them or disrespect them. Back in the day, being spit on was enough to get someone killed. Legally. Legally. I mean, that's how duels were fought. You spit on somebody, you slap somebody in the face with a glove, you damn well might get killed. I get it. Things have changed nowadays, but we have just gotten too disconnected from our warrior spirit. Don't think just because you might be out of shape and all that spirit isn't there. It is. You pick up a few weights, you go out there, you fight a bit, you're going to find out how fast your body springs back to what it was, what it needs to be to protect yourself. I mean, we are the apex predators of the world. And I don't care what people think. We are. Our country is the best on the planet, period. There is no arguing that. Nobody can debate that. I mean, sure, they can, in bad faith, debate it. That's why I don't debate with lefties anymore, because they just live in... I mean, we're talking about people. How can you debate with somebody who doesn't even know if they're man or woman? How can you have a productive conversation with somebody who's constantly calling you racist if you don't agree with them? Or telling you that you can't have pride in your own heritage and your culture? Because that's really what I'm focusing on, is our culture. That's why, I mean, Hispanics, they're just as American as white people are. Black Americans, not Africans, black Americans are just as American as we are, because they got that spirit. They got that predator spirit in them. And they're not shamed down, and look how they act. Look how we act. Look how white people as a whole act. And look how we used to act back in the 1950s. Back in the 1960s, before they started this CIA mind fuck shit on us. To weaken us, because we are powerful. They have to do away with us. That's why they brought in all these illegals. And still, they know that that's not enough to take over this country. Even if they brought in half the population of the country, it wouldn't be enough. Because, you know what? Americans will survive. Not just survive, but thrive. I mean, once you have that warrior spirit in you, you cannot let it go. And again, we need to get that spirit back. And I hope, if anything I do making these videos, and I'm trying to get better at it. I know I wander off topic and I get angry. And it sounds like I am focusing. I am. I mean, it doesn't sound like anything. I am focusing on everybody. I'm focused on everybody in general, Americans, okay? But white people especially, not because I think that they're inherently better. I think everybody has traits, right? But sadly, the white American has been put down to the point to where they have no pride in themselves. I mean, they expect nothing of themselves. And because they think the world doesn't, and that's the world, that's that evil system trying to crush your spirit, your warrior mentality, your warrior spirit, to stand up and never to kneel. You never kneel to your enemy. They tried to get Trump to kneel over some stupid run over post. Trump wouldn't do it. That should be all of us. Every one of us. And I'm glad to say I'm seeing that happen all over the country. People are tired of the nonsense and they're standing up. And God bless those people. What's that saying? A coward dies 1,000 deaths. A hero or a warrior dies once. Okay? And it makes sense because think about it. When you cower to a fight or you don't do anything when a woman's being raped, okay? You're going to play that back in your mind over and over and over again. You're going to die 1,000 deaths. 1,000 times you're going to go, it's going to go over in your mind. What could have happened? Could I have done something? I know I deal with that all day. All day. I have horrible nightmares about it. Could I have done something differently in a time? And no, I don't believe I could have, by the way, but it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to make an analogy here towards, linking the two. And like I said, cowardice, you're gonna die 1,000 times. You're gonna wish that you died then to stand up and be what you crave to be, what you watch movies to see. I just want to tap into that and get that person back. So, like I said, and the left is going to use these evil people, that's a better way to term it, are going to do everything in their power to keep you from yourself. They want you to stay divided and weak. Because if you ever take that power back, this shit that's going on in this country would not continue. We wouldn't tolerate this. People be out in the millions protesting, saying that's enough. They wouldn't be able to say, oh, we support the Americans anymore, because they would be able to look at the camera and see that that's not true. But instead, I just, again, that's why I hope, if anything, if I achieve anything in this, it's that I get everybody's spirit back to what it should be. I mean, we've had the most horrible atrocities committed to white Americans, especially. Especially men. And that's it. We've had our identity stolen. You've been suppressed. Your spirit, your light has been dimmed. And you need to brighten that bulb up, man. You need to stand back up and you need to fight for what's yours. At the end of the day, that's what matters. You only own something you can protect and keep. So, we all need to make a choice. Do we want to be slave? If you don't think that these other countries, if we lose America and you go to them, that they ain't going to turn you into a slave, you got another thing coming to you, Holmes. I'm telling you that right now. I mean, people are kidnapped every day. Americans are overseas. You wonder why. It's not just the money. I mean, we're exotic. It's funny that people act like just because somebody's a minority in one country that, I don't know, they're a minority globally. In America, sure, other cultures might be exotic, but outside of America, Americans are exotic. Okay, white people are exotic. Like I said, we're only 6% of the population. There's way more of a chance you're going to run into somebody who's never seen a white person than who's never seen a black person. The only reason that we have such significance is because of our culture. People like our music, you know what I mean? People like the movies that we make, or at least they used to before these sickos got in there and started ruining all the good movies. And that's all targeted too. That's always to put pressure on you to dim your spirit, your warrior spirit, to dim it. Because as long as they keep it dimmed down, keep you weak and subservient to them, then they win. They'll win because you won't even fight. They know, and this is what terrifies them more than anything else, that once you find that warrior spirit, if you're able to, and you can shrug off all these insults and you stand up, they won't be able to stop you. I would think on that a bit. Look back through history. This isn't something I'm making up. History tells you everything you need to know. We should be repeating the wrongs of history because it's there to teach us. You know what I mean? Let's get back into the video.
Hey, USA. So it says, wow, Bad Bunny refused to stand for our national anthem. Now, I'll be honest, this is how outrage cycles operate. Context gets stripped, interpretations get assigned, emotion gets weaponized. Suddenly, we're no longer talking about halftime quality. We're debating loyalty optics. That's algorithm fuel for sure. Not understanding. However, I will say,
I disagree with that. It's not just algorithm standing. I mean, it's respect, dude. This isn't complicated. It's respect. When you sit, when they're trying to celebrate our country, and a man who's in our country benefiting from that system won't even stand and respect it, that's basically him saying he wouldn't fight for it. So if he wouldn't fight for it, then does he stand against it? Absolutely he does. I mean, if you don't stand for something, you stand against it. Like all these NFL players taking a knee. Why? Because of BLM. Again, if you just spend 5 seconds thinking about just the name Black Lives Matter, how stupid is that compared to everybody that wanted to have all lives matter? Shouldn't all lives matter? No, just Black Lives Matter. Again, and this isn't... Sure, some black people got caught up in that nonsense, okay? But for the most part... I think most black people knew what was going on. This is just a game being played against them. You know, using their skin color. I mean, it's funny how we get criticized, white people do. But again, all these other cultures, all these other races, they fall for this nonsense all the time. They're useful. They're the useful tools. You know what I mean? Not all of them, obviously. But still, this kind of disrespect is not... It's meant to send a message, okay? And that's key. We need to stop pretending that this is just something, no, he's not standing up because he doesn't respect anything about America. That's why he's not standing up. And that's why I respect nothing about him. It has nothing to do with his skin color. He can screech that all day long. I don't give a shit about his skin color. He cares about his skin color. I don't. Okay, and why does he? Because he thinks he's better than other people because of it. Because guess what? We've allowed them to think that. Again, need to get that spirit back, guys.
man, anytime you're in anybody's country, I feel like it's important to just show respect to where you're at. And then headlines start amplifying claims faster than they can actually get verified, y'all. So it says, Bad Bunny forced to remove his IG after getting so much hate for his disgusting Super Bowl performance. But important correction here. His Instagram wasn't deleted. I went and checked it today. Posts weren't cleared. The account stayed active. At least when I checked it. We deal in accuracy, not in inflation here. Because exaggeration, it weakens credibility. And credibility is power. But emotional reactions weren't limited to one side of the aisle. They erupted elsewhere.
I'm so fucking pissed off right now. I came to this bar for the Super Bowl. I come to this bar actually pretty often. And we even reserved this shit like a week ago. I show up in here pretty much all day wearing my Bad Bunny shirt. Halftime show comes up and they put Turning Point USA. I'm like, okay, maybe they'll flip it over. Halftime show comes on and I ask the bartender, I'm like, so you guys aren't gonna put on the halftime show? And she's like, no. Why? And she was like, oh, because the owner doesn't want any issues and they don't want to play it. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You should have advertised that shit. I would have not come here if I would have known that. This world is so fucking divided.
Look at her. I mean, look at her. She's in tears right now over a stupid Bad Bunny show. She's in tears. I mean, see, this is what I'm saying. And a lot of times it's women that act like this. See, for men don't have the emotional pull like women do. We can, you know, you ever been into an argument with the woman you love or whatever, and she's like, oh, you never say, you don't show emotion and blah, 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 blah. I mean, yeah, because we have to. We don't have any choice. If we, you know, if every person we had to fight, if we were defending our family and then suddenly the enemy starts crying and we break down into fucking tears and, you know, let them do whatever, I mean, we can't do that. It doesn't matter. Like, we have to, like, men have to fight. They have to be able to stand up and fight for what's theirs. So they can't let emotions cripple them like they cripple women. Women have babies, you know, and then they raise them babies. It's all about that empathetic attachment, right? Men don't do as good of a job. I'm not saying that men don't need to be in a family. I had my kid taken from me because of this nonsense. And it's all this feminist nonsense. I mean, it destroyed my life. My marriage ended over it. I mean, because I'll never kneel to this feminist nonsense. I'll never do it. I do believe that men and women are different. They're good at different things. And only women have gotten upset about what they have to do, you know, in their lives and what they're expected to do as women. Men haven't gotten upset with going out and, say, running oil rigs or cleaning the latrines. You know, doing the hard jobs, being an auto mechanic, that is not easy. Trust me, I did it. Crawling around on the ground under a car is not fun. You know, for women, they can act like that. There's probably a dude out there who'll tolerate it just to get his tip wet, you know? I mean, it's kind of nonsense. It really is. And sadly, I don't know if you guys know this, but STDs are on the rise. Not even a minor amount. They're saying like something like 90% of people in this country have an STD. They just don't know it. Where does that come from? It's women. I mean, I'm not saying men don't help spread it because they're fucking... I mean, but biologically, that's how we are. Women have more control over it. Why do you think it is that if you get into an argument with a woman, the only way to get her in bed is to stimulate her emotionally? You know what I mean? I mean, it's kind of crazy. Women are controlled by their emotions. It's different. We have, look, down to a biological level, it's different. That's why men and women are different. That's why men and women are different, or better at different things. I mean, biologically, women they don't have testosterone. Men do. Testosterone is what gives us the ability to protect our families and stuff. Yet, testosterone levels have been dropping. Big surprise there. They don't want you having the normal amount of testosterone you would normally have. Because if you had that, you wouldn't be tolerating the shit that you do. Again, I mean, I can't control people and what they put in my food without my knowledge. I can focus my warrior spirit. You know, I can focus myself on the tasks I need to do and do them. And I'm damn sure not ashamed to be a man. And the woman that I'm eventually going to marry and fall in love with and all that, again, I mean, because sadly I've had too many of those. I've only been married once, but I've had too many relationships. The woman that I settle for is going to act like a woman. It's hard to find them. And I'll be honest with you, that's why more American men are marrying foreigners. Because a lot of foreign women don't act like that. You know, they're not all entitled and shit. They understand just how things can quickly go from great to bad and very bad. And that they would have to rely on their man at that point. You know, we're in a place in our society to where people ain't dying or being attacked every day. But that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I mean, man's role hasn't changed. It's just women have been tricked using their emotional centers that they have to have, by the way. So you almost can't even blame them. It's the evil people that convince them to think this way and to act that way. You know? And again, that's why men... Look, our evolutionary role, and forever it's going to be. That's why men need to stand up and stop it. Because women, they can't control themselves. I mean, this woman is breaking down emotionally over somebody she doesn't even understand. She probably doesn't even speak Spanish. You know what I mean? Look at her. I mean, just because people wanted to watch a true American show. By the way, I love America. I love all of you Americans out there, because when it came down to it, you turned Bad Bunny off and you turned TPUSA on. And why did you do that? Because it was United States. It was English. It was our culture. It wasn't all these flags and, this multicultural nonsense that they push, and, DEI, and, oh, you should love my music, even though you don't know what the fuck I'm saying,
So divided and so fucked up. So I had to go and sit in my car and watch the halftime show. Mind you, I missed like the first 5 minutes on TikTok live of someone's TV recording it on this tiny little screen, watching it because you refuse to play it. It's so fucked up. Like, I'm never coming here again. Like, I get it. People have their different point of views, and I'm not here to press judgment on, not judgment, but like, because I am judging, but I'm here to press my views on anyone else. But for you as a business owner to be that fucking racist is fucked up.
What?
Man, that escalated quickly, didn't it? I'm not here to push my views on anybody else, but, racist! Wait, what? I agree with him. Like, huh? I mean, I thought you just said you weren't here to try to push your views on anybody else, and then you're calling them racist just because they don't want to watch some stupid halftime show? Man, talk about... Yeah, that escalated quickly, didn't it?
That's what that equated to? Oh, man, I done spilled. Okay, so I was eating pineapples, y'all, and spilled a little juice on my shirt. So that's where that came from. I know y'all looking like, bro, ain't nobody even care. But same event, different outrage. And again, emotional responses get validated or mocked depending on who expresses them. That inconsistency reveals narrative bias, not principled analysis. Yet, outside ideological...
I would love to have a boom mic like that. Those mics are so good because you can like customize them. Like with mine, a lot of times when I say T or P or something like that, it spikes, you know what I mean? But if I turn it down, it won't pick me up. Like if I pull the mic out here, it probably sounds way far away and stuff. I gotta talk up. I would love to be able to just talk like this. What's up, guys? I mean, this is my outside voice. You know what I mean? This isn't my inside voice because I have to make sure that my voice gets to the mic. But that mic right there, my man, holy shit. And I bet that was a couple $100 right there for that mic. I bet you money it was. That is not a cheap mic, man. This dude's making bank. I bet that.
Extremes. Some perspectives try to land in the middle.
Hey, how'd you like
Look,
it?
Ocho,
You like it?
I didn't understand not one word, but the production and the visual effects.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the visual. Yeah.
Man.
Oh, yeah. It was nice. It was nice.
Yeah.
It was nice. Yeah. I mean, I could. Listen. I mean, if you would hit me, I could explain. What he was saying. But it was dope. It was dope. I enjoyed it. And I mean, you think a lot of people complaining? Oh, why didn't go back where you come from? Why?
He American. Puerto Rico, the part of America.
Let me
ask you a question, Ocho. Where were these people when you two performed? What part of America are you two from? What about the Rolling Stones? Did the Rolling Stones? Hold on, chat. Y'all look. Tell me if the Rolling Stones.
What the fuck is this guy talking about? They sang in English. You idiot. Like what do you think? Why do you think people didn't like it? Most people are saying that. I mean, for me, I didn't like the set because it was anti-American as fuck. But that they're saying, okay, that was good. Just like they're saying the same things these dudes are saying, except that they're like, dude, take the sunglasses off inside. By the way, come on, man. I think he's watching too much YouTube. But we enjoyed it because it was in our language and we understood what they were saying. Genius. Like, wait, what? And by the way, what the fuck are these? Or is this like is this just his earbuds? I mean, I don't know. I'm curious. I think it's his earbuds, but we'll see. I mean, look at this dude. His earbuds, you can barely see it. This dude's got Jesus, man. It might be a mic earbud set. I don't know, but all right, let's get back into this.
On there perform. What about Paul McCartney?
Come on, man. You know I know. You know I know. I just don't understand. I mean, we're all about, cultural diversity and having everyone else having a chance. And we've had every different type of performer at our halftime shows. I'm not sure what the problem is. I mean, it shouldn't be a problem. Enjoy it, and especially when it comes to Latin music. Listen, if you don't understand the word.
Listen, who told you that we were all about cultural diversity? Who put that? When were Americans polled and asked if they wanted to listen to Spanish dudes singing in Spanish here in America? Mexicans, whatever. I didn't get that poll. I didn't get that poll. What is this fool talking about right now? I don't look. I'm not for this multiculturalist nonsense. Because I see the end goal. I see where it's going. Now, I mean, just a normal person being over here, and they adapt to American culture and all that, I'm totally for that. But if you're bringing your Spanish culture over here, no. And I don't even give a shit about your food. Most of the food that's over in America isn't even culturally real. It's not real. You think Mexicans are eating those tacos all the time, or those burritos and shit like that? Nah, man. That's America right there. I mean, but either way, I mean, if you saw what it was really like and what their food is really like, you'd probably vomit. I mean, I was very surprised at some of the countries I've been at, just how bad that food was. But either way, this is nonsense. We need to stop this. We don't need cultural diversity. Our culture is just fine in America. We're Americans. We're Americans. I'm good with that. I hope you are too. And if they don't like that, they can leave. I mean, this is America. Just saying, it's America.
Hey, forget not knowing the words. It's a vibe. Enjoy the music.
No matter what you think of him, he's the most popular artist in the world. The NFL is trying to go global. I don't know if you noticed, but look at those games.
Who says that Bad Bunny is the most cultural? I mean, wait, hold up a second. Who's saying that he's the most popular artist in the world? I don't buy that horse shit. I want to see some fucking stats on this, man. Let's see if we can get. I already showed yesterday just how bad these searches are, but let's see if we can find out in 2026 who is the most popular singer. Oh my God, Bad Bunny's up there. But look, Taylor Swift, Drake. Wait, who's that though? A lot of these people I've never even heard of are among the most popular singers, dominating music charts. Oh, it's based on music charts? Are you fucking kidding me? That's it? They're basing it on music charts? Nah, I don't agree with that. Music charts are very heavily swayed. I mean, you're not gonna find low-key singers on there. I mean, you know what I mean? That's not singing what they want them to. Isn't Taylor Swift, her music is pretty fucking, pretty hateful too, I'm pretty sure. Alright, well anyway, let's finish this off. I've probably been going on. I swear, I don't mean to take these videos that long. I just like to comment through them and add in my 2 cents, So, I do want to wrap it up though. And I do appreciate you if you've been watching it this long. Let's give this dude a thumbs up, by the way. Oh, wait, is that... Hold on a second. It wouldn't let me like his video. Here we go. I think that was like a fake like or something. I don't know. All right, here we go.
Where they got games at next year. 9 of those games. They in Rio. They in Australia. They all over the place.
Hey, I was here jamming, boy.
Hey, I'm looking at the visual. I say, okay, you play into your heritage. I like that. They got the snow cones and they got to playing dominoes and the women getting the nails done. I was like, okay, I'm feeling it.
And the funny thing about it, if you notice all the flags, the flags, they pay tribute to everybody.
I'm watching.
They pay tribute to everybody. If I'm not
in
sure,
America, we don't need to pay tribute to them. Are they doing the same thing in their countries? Oh, they're not? Then shut the fuck up, dude. Why do we have to bow to their culture? Why do we have to bow to their nation? We're the most powerful nation on the planet. Like these, God, I cannot stand people like this. They come into America, okay? They're born American. They reap the benefits of being American, and look how they act. If you like their culture so much, my friend, then go fucking live there. Go enjoy their culture in their country. You know, go enjoy it in their country. Nobody's stopping you except for yourself. You know why you're not doing it? Because you damn well know that their culture isn't as good as ours. You know as well as we do that you're not going to do very well in that country. They're gonna pick you out as being American right quick. They got Asian features. I mean, not Asian, European features. These aren't like straight African out the box. You know, no, these are American, black Americans right here. You can tell by their cheekbones and their faces, and you know what I mean. Look at them. I mean, get out of here, bro. They'll pick these guys up quicker and shit. And you know what they'll do? They'll throw them in the back of a truck and they'll try to get money out of somebody. And when that doesn't happen, they'll off them. And there's been people that have said, oh, that won't happen. And then guess what? They go to those countries and guess what happens? They get kidnapped. They get ransomed. And then when that doesn't happen, you never hear from them again. Don't believe me? Look it up. I could do a whole segment on it. It's pretty terrifying out there, guys. That's what I'm trying to tell you. For all of you that think that you do as good in other countries as you do here, I mean, just the fact that you're American, I'm telling you, you will not do well. You will be targeted because you're American. That is how it is when you're the top dog, okay? That's how it is when you're the top dog. Everybody wants to kick you off the top of the hill. I mean, that's why I'm so possessed. That's why I want to bring back, like I said, the American spirit as much as I can. I mean, with one view at a time, if I have to. I don't give a shit. And I ain't making nothing off of this. The only thing I ask from you is a like, subscribe. Please. Get the video out there. We really need to start teaching, if not us, okay, the older of us, then how about our youth who are lost right now? Because, you know, we have not directed them. We have not shown them that you should have pride. We should all be doing that, especially if you have kids. I'm just saying, it's something to think about, right?
You know what? Let me tell you what I hate. Because they quick if they don't like something to say, okay, boycott this. We're not going to watch. But if somebody outside of this boycott something, they say, get that un-American. Get them out of here. Well, if you ain't like Bad Bunny, leave. Anybody that didn't like Bad Bunny, leave. That's their favorite quote.
Yeah. And you know me. My taste in music. I mean, my genre and taste in music. I'm all over the place. I like Bad Bunny. Hell, I like Leonard Skinner. Hell,
I don't give a damn if they had the Easter Bunny. I'm watching halftime show.
So, I mean, I listen to a wide variety of music. But let's stop right here. This is the exact framing Democrats and media allies lean on, right? The idea that criticism equals hypocrisy or intolerance. It doesn't. Nobody said he didn't earn success. Nobody said he shouldn't perform. Nobody said culture doesn't belong on big stages. That's a straw man. The actual issue was context. The Super Bowl audience isn't a curated fan base. It's a broad national demographic expecting accessible entertainment aligned. That's all. Music being emotional doesn't eliminate the reality of messaging disconnect. You know, vacationing somewhere doesn't obligate viewers to connect with every cultural export on demand. And enjoying rhythm doesn't invalidate critique of placement or tone. That argument collapses under basic logic to me. It replaces substance with moral guilt, which is the oldest manipulation tactic in political narrative shaping. And once that framing falls apart, the media leans on something else entirely to try to stabilize perception.
What did you think of halftime? Oh, Benita was unbelievable. Loose, happy, made everybody ecstatic. I loved it. And congrats to the bunny. He's a great human being. Awesome. Fly safe. Love you. Get home. What did you think of halftime? Oh, Benita was unbelievable.
Yo, is that Adam Sandler? Is that fucking Adam Sandler? I think that's Adam Sandler, man. He used to be the funniest man in this country. Now look at him. Man, it just tells you what happens to people when they get rich. I mean, I'd like to find out. But what happens to people? I mean, look at, oh God, who is that guy? I cannot believe I'm not remembering his name. I always, look, when I focus in on something, it's hard to think about other things, so. But, there's other actors, and Keanu Reeves, I mean, talk about, that dude right there is such a good actor. He represents America in such a good way. He's very kind. He's very, you're as likely to run into him walking around outside and not even realize it because he's not wearing rich clothes or nothing. You know, but Adam Sandler, really? I mean, this dude used to be the fucking man. Now look at him, doing the same thing all the other radical lefties do. Money just rots your brain, bro. What I think it is after a while, you're just so insulated, right? In your mansion, and everybody's coming up saying, oh, I love you, that you really get narcissistic. You know, I think it's just pure out narcissism, period. But, I mean, he probably didn't understand a damn word Bad Bunny said. Bad Bunny could have been out there saying, white people are stupid, America sucks, let it burn and die. And he would probably be cheering it right now. Why? Because he thinks that'll make him accepted. Especially by the rich elite, by the way. Because they try to convince you that conservatives have a monopoly on rich people. Which, by the way, that would make sense if they did. Because, you know, we practice sanity. But the sad part is that Democrats, demonrats, and leftists, they practice cheating. They're very good at it. I mean, not good enough to not get caught. And I hope that we're able to shrug off this like frozen soul shit and get back to who we are. That way we can start having real elections in this country again. I mean, just saying. And well, in order to do that, we need Republicans to actually stand up.
Oh my God, Adam Sandler. Now here comes the celebrity validation phase. Familiar face, positive endorsement, narrative, temperature lowered. Because approval signals shift public comfort faster than debate ever could. But let's anchor reality one last time. Right-wing criticism wasn't about hating Bad Bunny. It wasn't about rejecting culture. It wasn't about intolerance. It was simply about platform fit, audience expectations, broadcast alignment, context of the content. And instead of addressing those points honestly, Democrats leaned on emotional framing, labeling, and narrative manipulation. Same playbook, different headline. So, if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to put in frame.
Look, whenever they tell you to do that, they're just trying to get you to interact with their video. I mean, I hate to be the one I know I'm throwing out the big secret, right? They're trying to get you to interact with their video besides hit like and all that. I mean, I do leave comments on videos a lot because it really does get it out in the algorithm. You know, it's being spoken about and stuff. But another reason I like doing this because like I said, a lot of these videos aren't seen on Rumble. People don't do what I do, you know. And post them on so many platforms where people can see it. And I really believe that Rumble is the future if we all decide to make it the future. And Rumble's big thing is that it's free speech. I mean, I don't care about money. I mean, sure, I'd like to make some money to get a boom mic and a camera and stuff like that. But in totality, I don't give a shit about money. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making videos of music in them. You know, if I wanted to monetize them. Because that's when the copyright slap hits you and then you get all your money taken. You know what I mean? But I want to make videos that people enjoy. and then at the same time raise our spirit back up, because I believe in an America that existed a long time ago. I believe in bravery in Americans that no other country or culture's ever shown. Like, we shook the world. We shook the world with America. Everybody should be proud of that. No other countries existed in all of history like America. Not even Rome. Rome took a long time to become Rome. I mean, we were forced to fight, and we won. I mean, sure, France was there, but America stood on its own. I mean, France helped us a bit, but they didn't do it because they were just being kind. They were at war with Britain. You know, their war had just ended when France sent troops over. But either way, America did the fighting. Americans did the fighting. That's what's inside of you. You know, that's what I'm trying to speak to, man. That's what I'm trying to reawaken. Is that predator spirit, you know, that made us the most powerful nation in the world. And then shit like this right here, like Adam Sandler. Look at that. I love Adam Sandler, man. And now he's been turned into this pathetic agreement dude. I mean, he would make jokes about this shit back when I was younger. That's what I loved about him. Now, what? He's gonna force you to see all your masculine, toxic masculinity. He's gonna. I mean, that's likely why he doesn't even make movies anymore. I mean, if he does, I've not heard of him, because ain't nobody wants to be preached at. When you watch a comedian, you don't want to be preached at. You want to laugh. You know. It's time we got back to that. That's the days I was raised in, when a comedian can make a joke about another culture, race, or ethnicity and not get lambasted as being Hitler, you know? And the only way we get back to doing that is together. You know, Americans need to come back together. We need to wake up. We need to shrug off the shackles of these, because it's cultural imprisonment. I mean, we are the ones with the chains on us. I mean, they have to subdue the most powerful warriors first. That would be you. That would be me. They have to subdue us. But my spirit won't be tamed like that. It will not. I'll fight to the end. I don't care. If it means that I die, like I said, I fully believe in my heart and soul. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. That's how it is. And I only intend to die once. So, anyway. Yeah, we'll end this video. I know this has probably been over an hour. Thank you for hanging out with me and, you know, reacting to this video. I hope you enjoy the content. I'll be dropping more game content later. I'm still trying to get around to the Division 2 video. But this sinus infection, man, is killing me. I swear. I don't know if... Have any of you going through sinus infections right now? I mean, this has been going on for like damn near, 2 or 3 months. I mean, in winter, my sinuses get backed up anyway, but this is getting ridiculous, man. It sounds like I don't even breathe through my nose sometimes, and I hear myself on videos. It's like, man, that is not how I sound. But I guess everybody thinks that. Maybe that's exactly how I sound. No, it's mainly the mic. I mean, I like I said, I wish I had a better mic and a camera that I could actually do what this dude's doing. That's what I ultimately want to do. You know? I mean, I'm confident enough I can be picked on. I'm good with that. I just, you know, it seems like people really pay attention and really watch videos where you can see the person who's talking. And I want to get the message out there as much as I can that it's time to stop kneeling. And I mean, I have to focus on white people because white people are the ones that are the ones who won't get up off their knees. I mean, black Americans have pride in their past and their heritage. White people, if we do it, we're evil. Asian Americans, same thing. We celebrate their past. Do we celebrate white, you know, our white heritage? You know what I mean? When I say that, I'm talking about like our ancestors in America who fought to free the slaves. I mean, we've done great things, guys. We saved the world. We saved the world. If it hadn't been for us, and that's why it's so insane they try to compare us to Hitler all the time, right? Because we beat Hitler. We did. Americans did. And we were still a fledgling country. Look, just think about that. We didn't just beat one massive nation. We beat them all. We beat them all, baby. Every one of them. All the other countries, France, had given up and joined Hitler. So any of these people trying to throw shade on you, grab that spirit of yours and stand up. Hey, man, you're here because of us. Sit down and shut up. Yeah, we might do a better job at running the world, seeing as how we saved the world three times now. You know, like enough of this stuff. And yes, I say 3 because if you remember right, the Soviet Union, don't forget about that. The collapse of the Berlin Wall. Remember when they had that? I remember when that wall came down. I also remember their 9/11. And the fact that Americans are kneeling, I never thought we would kneel after that. I mean, I remember I was sitting out on a porch when 9/11 happened. And I don't know, I'll never forget, like, it just wasn't real at the time, you know what I mean? And then I saw the videos. I saw Americans falling from way up in buildings, jumping out, because they would rather hit the ground than to burn alive. I think that changed me. I think if that hadn't happened, to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't be the person I am today. But I don't know, maybe say a prayer if you did get this far in this video for those victims of 9/11, because they're still out there, they're still suffering. You know, I'm not talking about maybe the people that died, I'm talking about their families. You know, what about all the women that have been stabbed? You wonder why women don't have respect for men right now. It's because men aren't being men. When a woman's being raped on a bus, I heard this story. It's true too, by the way. I saw a video of it, and I'm not gonna add it here. I want to wrap this video up, but I will show video of it if I need to. It's this fucking parasite is raping a white lady on a bus, in full view of like fucking 50 people, man. And you know who stopped him? Nobody. Nobody stopped him. I'm so ashamed of that. I'm ashamed for them. If I ever saw something like that happen, I guess you'll know because you'll see me on the news. I mean, that's insane. How far have we fallen? Anyway, time to go take some laryngitis medicine and something to clear my sinuses up. I appreciate you watching. Like I said, like, share, comment. It does help get the videos out there. He's not wrong about that. If you agree with my message, please help me get it out there. Let other people hear it. And I don't give a shit about the money. I don't care what anybody says or what you think. I don't care about it, okay? Even if I got popular or anything, I still wouldn't care about it. What I care about is reviving the American spirit. What I care about is people having pride again. You know? Remember what that word meant? Pride? I mean, but apparently if you're white, you're not allowed to have pride. Sua sponte Deus vult.